Hey, what's up? This is Adam Chandler coming at you from my home office in Denver, Colorado. Talking to you today, shooting this short video for you today about skills versus habits and really how to become more successful either in your home-based business or online marketing, offline marketing, or really any area of your life. Maybe you want to improve your relationships, maybe you want to learn how to cook or learn a new language. Really anything, this information is going to be totally pertinent and relevant. Now, of course, before we really get into it, of course, it's very important to have both. You have to have the skills and the habits, but I think that there's certainly a balance here, and I think that really understanding the balance is gonna really help you if you're like most people in the home business industry. And the reason I say this, I see a lot of people that focus entirely on the skills. They spend all this time learning and buying information products on how to generate leads with Facebook or how to do SEO, and they spend all this time watching training videos and on webinars to learn these skills, right? And again, skills are extremely important. You can't be successful without learning the skills, but a lot of the same people seems like they don't focus any time on developing successful habits. And one thing that if you look at successful people in the industry, every single one of them, they have the skills, but they've also done very well with cultivating the habits of successful people, the discipline that is really going to create success in the long term. You can create success in the short term just with skills, but if you're looking for long-term success, there's no way that you're going to get it without acquiring those habits. And you can see that that's the absolute reality, because a lot of inexperienced marketers and stuff, they'll spend all this money on information products, and they'll think that, well, this is what I need in order to become successful, and then they'll buy it, they'll consume the information, they'll get the skill, but then they won't apply it well enough because they haven't yet acquired the habits, and then they'll sit there scratching their head as to why it didn't work for them, why they weren't able to create success or any sustainable results in the long term, because they had focused entirely on the skill and not enough on the habits. Is this making sense to you? Now I want to talk a little bit about how to develop these habits. Now that we understand that we all have to be better at developing habits of successful people, at developing discipline. Success, Jim Rohn said, success is not so much about what you do, it's what you do daily. I think that was Jim Rohn, don't quote me on that. But success isn't so much about what you do, it's what you do daily. So if you're doing content marketing, are you doing content marketing on a daily basis or on a very regular basis? And most people aren't, because they haven't developed the habit of successful content marketers. If you're doing prospecting, are you doing, do you have time that's set out every single day where you do prospecting, or at least every other day? Are you doing it at least 3, 4, 5 days a week? If that's an important part of how you're building your business, that really comes down to the habits. One of the best ways that I've learned as far as developing habits is tracking your results. So having even something as simple as just a blank piece of paper next to you, and if you're doing prospecting, how many dials did you make? How many answering machine messages did you leave? How many actual conversations did you have? Out of those actual conversations, how many exposures did you get? How many people did you get looking at your products, your services, your business opportunity, your income stream? How many people did you expose to your income generators today, right? And by tracking that activity, you can really, it's a really smart way to look in the mirror at what you're actually doing, and then you can also kind of grow on that. You can say, okay, well, I exposed 2 people today. How can I improve tomorrow? Well, I just need to expose more than 2 people, right? I just need to make a few more phone calls tomorrow than I made today. And by focusing on the habit and by tracking that result, then the habit muscles will grow, but the skills will also grow at the same time. Now I want to share a really quick story, a really cool story about a group of NASA astronauts, and I'm going to kind of tie this back to creating successful habits. Back in the 60s, the NASA took a group of, I believe it was 7 astronauts, and they wanted to test how these astronauts would handle being in low gravity environments and just being, being disoriented in environments that they weren't used to. So they developed these goggles, and what the goggles did was they flipped the astronauts' field of vision 180 degrees. So when the astronaut would put the goggles on, their world would literally turn upside down. And of course, in the beginning, it was incredibly disorienting, as it would be for any of us if our worlds were literally flipped. Our field of visions were literally flipped 180 degrees, and what was once down is now up, and what was once up is now down. It would be extremely disorienting, right? And what happened with this experiment, they did it for several days, for weeks, where they had to wear these goggles even when they slept. They weren't allowed to take them off. And on day 26, something really interesting happened that nobody predicted, nobody was expecting, nobody was predicting. On day 26, one of the astronauts reported that his field of vision just completely flipped back the other way, and everything just became normal. And nothing changed with the goggles. The goggles didn't change. What changed was his perception. The way that his mind was interpreting what he was seeing, that's what changed. It wasn't anything about the goggles. And then throughout the next 4 or 5 days, up until like the 30th day, every single one of the astronauts in the experiment reported the exact same thing happening to them. What they did was they basically determined that if you feed your mind a new set of information for 30 straight days, you're going to create these new neuro pathways in your brain that are going to basically adopt the new behavior as reality. Okay, so basically that means that anything that you do for 30 straight days will become a habit, and you won't even have to, it won't become a chore after you do it for 30 days. It'll just become something that you do. So if you want to improve your physical life, exercise for 30 days. Maybe don't finish every single bite of food on your plate for 30 straight days, right? Maybe kick the junk food for 30 straight days. Okay, if you're talking about your business, reaching out to people and exposing people to your business, do it for 30 straight days. It will become a habit. If you're doing content marketing, do it. Give yourself 30 days. It's going to be tough. It's going to be brutal to do it for 30 days, but after that, it will just become second nature. That's how you develop habits in your life. That's how you grow and you strengthen your habit muscles. And when you focus on the habits, the skills will naturally fall in place. I'm telling you. Now, I want to share something really cool with you that's going on this coming Monday, September 30th. I'm doing a webinar with a couple friends of mine where we're going to be talking about how to create momentum in your business. So we're going to be talking about 4 key components of creating momentum. If you can have all 3 of these other things in place, but if you don't have all 4 of them, you'll struggle to create real momentum in your business. And that's what we're going to be talking about: how to create momentum in your business, how to cancel the problems that cause that cause most home business owners from creating that momentum, how to systematically destroy those problems. So going to be really cool, really powerful profit producing webinar if you put into action what we're going to be teaching you this coming Monday night. So go ahead and click the link down below this video right now. Get yourself registered for that webinar because it's going to be really good and you deserve to be there. So click the link down below, get yourself registered, and we'll see you Monday night. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and click the link, or go ahead and leave me a comment below the video and subscribe to my page, and we'll see you next time. Take care.